sometimes things become a little hectic with administrative issues and some certain people, like in this past assistance that we had, we found out that people get gain benefit and never even had a farm.
And we're presently on 501 farm. This is where we actually conduct the work of actual beekeeping. So today we had the collaboration with Humana, two people at our farm today, and we actually mentored 23 upcoming beekeepers who have been participating in a 3 days workshop in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. So today we invited them to to get a first-hand experience on how you actually do beekeeping, what are the good management practices, what are the do's and don'ts, and we went into the apiary, showed them what's a queen, what's a worker, what does a colony entail, the honey, the pollen, the eggs, and all of that stuff. It is very important because with beekeeping it's a very practical venture. It's more a hands-on experience, and after covering 3 days of theory and then the final day, which is the practical sessions, it will be very useful for the beekeepers, because then they will have a knowledge of what they should be actually doing within the colony, because it can be very discouraging if you don't have the proper knowledge on how to do all the management practices. So basically what we did is we allowed them brief presentation on how you should put on all the proper safety equipments, how to use the smoker, and then how you go about managing the colonies, how you move the frames, how you actually use the tools.
Today is actually our last day, and this training is a direct result of our partnership with the Agriculture Department. So as you may remember, one of the main objectives of the SEEDS project is to build partnership with government agencies and to get them to offer their services to our communities. Now, as the hub host for Big Falls Village, I work in Big Falls Village and in San Pedro, Colombia as well. And also I'd like to mention that this training, although it's happening in Colombia, we have participants from around the block. We have one participant who came all the way from Punta Gorda. Today it makes 2 from PG. We have 1 from Emery Grove. We have 3 from San Miguel. We have 1 from Big Falls, and the others are from San Pedro, Colombia. I would also like to take this time to thank the Agriculture Department, because it is through their technical expertise that we were able to conduct this training. Also to Humana, People to People, who supported us in providing lunch to our participants for the 3 days. We would also like to say a very special thank you to Mr. Melvin Requena and Mr. Gustavo Requena, who welcomed us at their apiary and were the ones who hosted us for the practical session conducted today.
I am very thankful and grateful for today's 3 days workshop that I have sit with SEEDS and from Humana. I'm receiving this training along with my fellow colleagues of 28, I should say, and also from Mr. Logan. Thanks for him to be out here to conduct this training. I'm very grateful for everything that I've learned, and I'm going to put it at work at my apiary, whereby I had been doing bees already, and I'm really thankful for this educational part that I have received for these past 3 days.
I have been in the bee training for 3 days, and I have learned how to know more about bees and how to interact with them. And it's a really interesting topic because you learn more about your surroundings and how to keep even nature and everything in a right process, because based on what we learn about bees, we learn more about how to keep our surroundings clean and protected for them. What motivates me is because based on where I live is all around nature, and I love nature, and we want to start that for our family, and because we want to produce honey not only for sale but for also the consumption and so. This training, I think it will help me because what we know or what I know is just the simple, just the common things. But here in this training, they evolve and they help us understand more about bees and explain more about them and you know, understand them more and so on.
This is my first training. It's the first time I'm hearing about bees, but from the days that I have attended, it was very good. It's very informative, and I would say it has given me some knowledge about these insects, and hearing what the others were sharing during the discussion. It is something very good, and it's not really hard, but it needs commitment, and you need to be interested as well. So for me, everything is possible once you're willing. I am very happy that we are given the training, and I want to thank all the people involved and whoever is sponsoring or whoever has contributed in any way. I am very grateful, and I appreciate what they have done for us.
This is my first time being a part of a beekeeping training program. I have a lot of family members that deals with bees, so I know a thing or two about bees, but what I thought I knew wasn't in comparison to what they taught us during the training. I definitely am going to walk away with a lot of knowledge and a lot of training towards bees, and I have respect towards bees more, and I appreciate the way of life that the bees do for our environment and the way how they treat us. My advice is that if you're very passionate and if you have the time out, it is definitely something to look into. It is very demanding on information because bees are something that you have to be very informative about before you get into it. So that's my advice. But if you really have the passion to raise bees and you care for bees and you also want to have a very productive hobby on the side, it is definitely something to get into, and I do recommend anyone who is interested in dealing with beekeeping.
How do you think this training will be impactful for those that are doing beekeeping?
Well, presently we had a total about 25 new beekeepers here, people who want to venture off into beekeeping, and they are very interested in beekeeping as it is also a lucrative business for the district, given that our honey is also gold. I do believe that the training they received today was a training that was going to help them during their initial process of establishing their apers. No? And in the future, yes, they will be in need of more training. At least this is a basic input training whereby they learn a lot, but they will also need more training as time progresses, because we know as time goes by we never stop learning, and the climate is changing, and also the organisms in our climate, and they need to learn more.